In today's video, I'm gonna show you how I make arrows. I really like these. They work, they fly really well, and they sound beautiful when they do fly. The shaft I'm gonna be working on, I already made the knock. I also put a bodkin style tip on it. I also went ahead and oiled it. These are dowel rods from the hardware store. They are 5/16 of an inch or 8 millimeters. Since the dowel comes 120 centimeters, I use my open-L saw just to cut them down to 29.5 inches. You don't always get a clean result. What I like to do, I just use sandpaper just to take the worst before I move on to the next step. Next step would be a taper tool. I bought this from Bogen's Borderville, but you can get them from any archery shop. You have one side for the point, and then you have one for the knock. So I always start with the knock, and if you're not sure which one, it's the one that's raised a little bit more for a sharper angle, and it's just like a pencil sharpener. So you have one side looking like this, and then you have one looking like this. For the knock, I'm using a boning knock with a big protrusion, which is really good to indicate for the cock feather. For the point, I'm using a medieval style point. Since I already did the arrow, I'm just going to demonstrate that I would put glue on the wood. I would put a little bit of glue on the point, put it on. And the same for the knock. Glue. For the feathers, I'm going to use autumn brown, one of my favorite colors to use. Just be careful with this color in the woods, as these mix really well with the leaves on the ground. Lost many arrows to that. I always buy them full length and then cut them down to 4.5 inches, almost 11.5 centimeters. So really in between the 4 and 5 inch mark. To put on the fletchings a little better, I'm using a ruler, similar to how you would use archery fletching rig. Next step is just aligning the arrows. You just mark the top of the fletching. And I'm not going to worry about this because I'm going to wrap it, so it's not going to be visible. It's just to have better idea to where to put them. It's going to be easier in the long run for me. What I usually like to do is also cut a little bit off the sides. Their profile isn't as big where I have to start wrapping it, because they have to fly past your hand, and it would be nice if that was as flat as possible. So what you also can do, or should do, is just take a little piece of the end and rip that off. Just take the feather, put it in the middle, or wherever you want to put it, of course. Make sure it's not complete. If you do it like this, like I do, just don't do it all the way flat, because when you put glue on this side, you don't want that to be in contact with the ruler to mess up, because they will stick. And we have a ruler with a feather attached to it. A little bit, not too much. I like to keep a drop forming and then just run it and just a light squeeze. Then, because I made these markings, I don't have to worry about the height, more about the placement. I want this to be the way the cock feather faces. Give me a second. Just hold it for a while. From here on out, you just repeat the process 120 degrees, or as close as you can get it, doing it by eye. I do everything by hand, so I'm gonna adjust a little bit as I go along. This is just, I'm making a rough shape of what I want it to look like. I don't want to go too close or too short here, because you can't fix that. For me, it's like, if they just fly, great, they look great, whatever. I'm not professional at this, I just like doing it. It's relaxing and very time consuming. When the shape is down, you start with the string and then go all the way up. I'm just gonna finesse this, and then I'll show you what I got. Trust me, it's gonna look a lot better when I put on the string. I'm gonna use this string made from linen and covered in beeswax. It's 0.35 millimeters. Tangerine color. I like the visible colors you can see when you're out, because it makes it easier to find your arrows. Trust me, when you have dark arrows, higher chance of losing them. Also, what I found is that it's a bad idea if you just pull out the string and cut the length you think you'll need. Just keep the string on this. I don't run out of string and I use exactly what I need. And now for the final product. It's not perfect, but it will fly. And a new home for you. There you go. Beautiful. Just need to make one more and then I have 12 in this quiver as well. But thank you for watching. This is how I make an arrow.